So what brought me to Pivot, um, first of all, I am very good friends with LJ's son, Seth. We've been friends for quite a while. We went to the same college together. And we go to these music festivals together. So I kind of had some idea of what Pivot was. And it kind of gave me a sense of security knowing that, hey, I know Seth, so I can only imagine how wonderful his mother is, and how much care she would take, while I was there. But really what brought me was, I feel like a lot of the relationships that I've been in, I kind of found myself in these same patterns of like, everything's really great. And then all of a sudden everything goes like just terribly wrong. And, I know, post Pivot, I've realized that a lot of that was because I was drinking alcohol. So I think that was also a large portion of kind of what brought me to Pivot too, was just kind of getting clarity around that aspect of my life, because I couldn't figure out what was going on and what was causing these issues in the relationship. And then it's like, I was like, whoa, okay, this is a major problem. This is why we're in these ups and downs. And I mean, throw in, I'm also a lesbian, so we already know how crazy that world is. Like, there's plenty of shows out there about that in the dating world. So, really just trying to get more clarity around relationships, kind of what was going on with me, obviously what's still going on with me, and trying to kind of put together a roadmap or a plan of how I can, moving forward, find really quality relationships or quality relationship down the road. So that's really what brought me to Pivot. So when I knew that I was going to go to the Glass House, I was at such a low place in my life. They mentioned, starting with some coaching before. So I did 3 weeks of coaching actually before I arrived at the Glass House, just to kind of get a baseline, kind of more information, figure out really what I'm getting myself into. So I did have those 3 coaching sessions before. They really kind of gave me the foundation of what the heck Pivot was, because again, like I knew like very basic, Cliff Notes version of what it was. And I had actually ordered LJ's book, hashtag healthy adult. And as someone who doesn't like reading, I found it to be an easy read. Also, I got a little audiobook, so I listened to that as well while reading. But the coaching really kind of opened my eyes up to things in my world that I wasn't paying attention to, in aspects of like dating and how people treated me. So even in those first 3 weeks, I really did learn a lot about myself. And I actually was applying some of the tools that my coach Kelly taught me, and we kind of went over weekly, in those relationships. And in this one relationship that I was in, where I just couldn't figure it out. Like I was like, why are we fighting all the time? Like, why are we fighting over what we're going to get to eat for dinner? Like, why? Again, that pre-coaching really helped me with kind of that foundation work, and starting to apply changes in my life, kind of pivoting. My experience while at the Glass House, I walked in and I was the first one there. I was super nervous. I was like, what the heck am I doing? I was super anxious when I arrived, and, I was greeted by Fernando. He's wonderful. I got to my room, kind of got settled in, and everyone kind of filed in after me. But, it was very eye-opening for me. Very, very emotional journey. I'm happy to say I was not the first person to cry, but I definitely was the one that was leading the pack with all the tears, just because it is something where I was unfamiliar with this whole inner child, inner teen, third base healthy adult, kind of what that looked like. I mean, I had heard of it, but I really had no idea. And then we really just dove in that first day and got our feet wet. And again, it's like, there's so much to process. I think the best way that it was put to me pre-pivot, pre-going arrival at the Glass House was, it's going to be like a snow globe. Literally everything's going to get shaken up, and it's going to take a while to settle. And, definitely things were shaken up that whole time there. One thing that really stuck out to me that I will never forget, it was that Thursday before we left. I had given all my electronics up because I didn't want them. I don't want my phone. I don't want my laptop. You guys did a great job of keeping that for me while I was there. But we were in the process of getting our phones back, and LJ said, hey, if there's anything that you that you think might kind of, throw you or, maybe cause you to feel some type of way, let's kind of go through that. And I remember, we were just doing a pretty simple exercise, and it's like I walked up and I literally was like shaking in fear because I was afraid that I was going to have a text message or some type of message from one of my exes that was really going to hurt me, when I opened my phone up. And LJ looked at me and she's like, Katie, you cannot let someone kind of have this type of power over you. And I was hysterical. And she kind of looked at all the ladies and the coaches and was like, all right, you guys, I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but we got in a line and I was like the line leader per se, and all the ladies and coaches and LJ followed, and everyone just came up to me and kind of just gave me all this beautiful information about myself and kind of made me really feel good about myself in that process. And it made me realize that regardless of what I had on that phone or what I was going to step back into, that I knew that, I made the right decision in that point going there. I knew that there were people that really saw a great part within me that I just couldn't tap into. My pain body is I'm not enough. And they definitely fulfilled that cup for me, while I was there. And, I'll forever be appreciative of that. And I will never forget that experience there. I have been doing therapy for about 2 years now. November will be 2 years, in person weekly. And, that it's been absolutely great. I love my therapist, would not have it any other way, but I didn't realize that with therapy, there's only so far that the therapist can go. So going to the glass house, I just got to deep dive even more into myself, something that I couldn't really touch on, or, if I could, it's something where I've only got an hour a week. So I don't really have that much time to kind of really deep dive into it, because like, oh, let's, you got to stop here and then pick up next week. And by then I have ADHD and the attention span of a gnat. So I've already forgotten what's going on. But the therapy that we received at the glass house, specifically the experiential, that was eye-opening. That was a type of therapy I had never seen of, heard of, experienced. And going there and being able to run what you guys call the bases really, really helped me process a lot of this underlying kind of anger and this emotion that I had towards whoever I had in that kind of the not the home plate, but on the pitcher's mound per se. So that's something that really stuck out to me while being at the glass house, and something that I hadn't ever experienced before. When I came to Pivot and started learning about it, I always said, hey, I'm here to be as brutally honest as possible, because I'm not here to waste anyone's time. I'm not going to waste my own time. Like, I really want to figure out what the root of this issue is within me. So it's just being honest, and I just had to be honest with myself, and that's when everything started coming out. You walk into the glass house and it's like, cool, I don't know these people. There's 6 or there's 5 women, or if you're in the 2.0, there's, men and women that I don't know at all. And it's kind of like you're a little bit nervous, but then you kind of get to know these people over time and hear their story. And there are things where you kind of connect with them. So again, I believe this was on Wednesday when we did the experiential. So by that point, we're not just sitting in the living room staring at the wall anymore. We're actually like talking to each other and feeling comfortable. I do believe being in a group setting was beneficial for me, because again, I'm someone where I can talk to a wall. Like literally, I could talk to this wall right here and have a whole conversation with it. And so I know I can do things individually, but kind of, again, hearing those stories like I touched on earlier from other people and seeing their vulnerabilities, it kind of makes you feel safe in knowing that, hey, I'm not alone in this battle. There's other women out here, or there's other men out here. There's other people in this world that are out there that are here with me now. And we're able to share this experience. I learned a lot about myself, and I still am with each coaching session that I go through. But it's something that I didn't realize, and it's been really difficult. A difficult journey, definitely, throughout my entire life. Kind of what I found to be my root of a lot of my issues is admitting that I do have a problem with alcohol, and it's been a battle, but I'm proud to say that I've been sober since August 5th I'm not drinking alcohol. So I've seen, a lot change in my life since then. And I've been able to get in touch more with who I am and dig deeper and really lean into this process. Yeah, Pivot's been there, and those coaching sessions. I mean, I learned something every week and applying it to my life. Something that I realized too, besides, this alcohol issue that I've had, is just really discovering love for myself. Because I know when I walked in there, I mean, even on my giant sticky note that I had, it was like, I just have low self-esteem. It's hard to love myself. So, post pivot, I've really just been pouring into myself. And, if I need to cry, letting myself cry and not sitting here dogging myself. Or, there was a thing, like I told LJ, I just look in the mirror every day and like say just negative things about myself, because that's how I truly felt about myself. And now it's like I have this new, like, empowered feeling like, yes, I am worthy. I am enough. I do love myself. And at the end of the day, I don't need a relationship. I don't need these so-called friends that I had to sit here and boost me up and boost my confidence. I can do it for myself. People can see it. People in my life can see it. My therapist can see it. People that really matter can see that how Pivot has impacted me so greatly, and I know is going to continue to down the road. So for that, I am forever thankful to Pivot and LJ and everyone who was involved in that process and still is and will be. So one thing that really stuck out to me, it was a friend of mine that I've known for about 8 years now, and kind of with my past relationship, unfortunately, she kind of got entangled in it, and things did not end well. And again, a lot of that was me drinking. And anyway, she reached out to me and she was like, "Katie, you look so good. You're glowing. Like, you just look so happy." And I had made this video after a boxing class, and I messaged her back and I'm like, "That glow is probably like my sweat, but thank you." And then she messaged me back and she was like, "No, you just look so happy in your skin. Like, everything about you looks so much better." So that's just, the proof is there. I mean, people can see it. I have had people that I haven't spoken to since middle school who follow me on Instagram who are like, "Oh my God, Katie, you're such an inspiration. Like, I'm pulling for you. Thank you so much for just like being there and letting people know it's okay to voice how you're feeling, not be afraid of it." So, in that aspect, it makes me feel great. Physically, also, I've lost 10 pounds, so that's awesome. I want to be my best version. And through Pivot, I think I'm finally starting to see that light and letting that light shine through. And like, it just feels so good. And it's like, it makes me very emotional just talking about it, because I know how I was, a couple months back and how hard I was on myself. So, again, super thankful for the process and everyone involved in it. I think as humans, we go through these emotions every day. I mean, right? It's like, I can't, especially now in this process where I'm at kind of with this relational withdrawal that I'm going through, kind of stopping all contact with my ex, who I really did like. So I've got like my inner child, who's like sitting here and just like, "Oh my God, like, I really, like, I need you. Please don't leave me. I want you to like be here. Like, I would love her to knock on the door." And then it's like, "Okay, Katie, we have to like wait. That is not your healthy adult. That is your inner child coming out." Or, I'll get upset about something, like maybe an email comes through and I'm just like, "Dude, why was this not understood?" And it's something where it makes sense to me, but it didn't to the other person. So I kind of get a little fiery, upset. And that's that teen coming out. And I'm like, okay, we've got to calm down. And I, make that quick fix to healthy adult. So, I mean, it's every day I'm finding myself, just within myself, seeing these things. It's been a fun and exciting and just educational journey the whole time. Like, I mean, every single day I'm using those tools, and straight up pivoting. I mean, #pivot. We pivot all the time. So literally since I've been back, I've been like, "Y'all need to go to Pivot. Like, it's going to help you guys a lot." Like, it's just really, it made me realize a lot about myself, something that I could not get again with my traditional therapy, or even just kind of sitting around. Like, I don't have words for it. I don't, because I don't think that I realized that there was something out there that was going to make me get this deep within myself. And then it's finally like, I just took that step. Like, I was at the point of where I was like, I talked to my mom and I said, hey, like, that there have been times where, you might have gotten a phone call where, oh shit, Katie's no longer with us, through Pivot and kind of all that support I've gotten. I've realized there's just like no reason to ever get that low in your life. And you don't need people in your life that make you feel that way. And this, again, touching on all those inner parts of yourself while there and even post, I mean, it's huge. It makes you just realize a lot about yourself. So again, there's just so many things I can say positive about Pivot and the Glass House and in the whole process. But I think kind of in a nutshell, I wrapped it up. So